Hello, this is Fraser Anderson from the investment team at Vestigo Ventures. Today, I'm here with Christie Horvath, founder and CEO of Wagmo. Christie, how are you today?
I'm well, thanks. How are you doing?
Very well as well. Nice to see you. Today, we're going to be talking about you, we're going to be talking about Wagmo, and we're going to be talking about the broader market opportunity in pet wellness slash pet insurance. How's that sound?
Excellent.
Great. So we're going to start with you. Um, Now, you've already had an impressive career in financial services, and anybody watching, you could just look her up on LinkedIn. She's stellar. But you've spent time at super pedigreed firms like Merrill Lynch, BlackRock, and what made you take the glorious step into entrepreneurship?
Well, honestly, by nature, I'm actually a pretty risk-averse person. So I would love to say that if I were at BlackRock, I would have been able to quit my cushy job and start this company. But the reality is I happened to be at business school at the time. And if ever there was a time to take a huge risk and completely shift gears, that was the time. I 2 weeks into business school, recruiting starts. And to be honest, I couldn't even put on a suit and bring myself to go to these consulting and finance networking events. So very quickly, I realized that I was going to have to completely shift gears. And luckily, HBS actually offers a very modest stipend for people to explore entrepreneurship over the summer. And so I took advantage of that and actually spent the summer between business school years exploring kind of a tangentially related insurtech idea, and basically rationalized it to myself that, if it worked out, then great, that's what I would do. If not, then I had another year to go scramble and find a cushy finance job.
So entrepreneurs can be made in the closet as well as in the classroom.
Indeed.
I personally, I'm not sure I can do anything else either besides venture, since I can't put on a suit either. I have to stay with the jeans.
Yeah, it's really painful. Haven't put on a suit since. Happy to report.
Me neither. And what made you settle on pet insurance specifically? Now, you've got a really, really strong background in insurance, and I know you're a proud pet parent, but kind of from both the personal and the market opportunity perspective, could you elaborate a bit?
Yeah, I mean, high level, it does combine my two passions in life, insurance and dogs. So I grew up in Colorado, had dogs my entire life, and I am one of like probably 10 people out there that genuinely think insurance is fascinating. I knew since, like week 3 at BlackRock that I was going to do something in insurance for my career. And when I was in business school the summer between my years, exploring a different idea, basically my dog got very, very sick. And over the course of 3 months, we had some pretty serious vet bills come up, a lot of emergency visits, and long story short, at the end of the whole ordeal, I had a full new appreciation for just how challenging and expensive pet ownership was. And first thing I did was go look at the pet insurance options on the market. And I realized very quickly that there were some serious limitations in terms of what the product offerings are today. And when I turned around to try and convince all of my friends and family that they need pet insurance for their pets, sort of universally, people wrote it off as a complete ripoff of a product that made no sense. And that was sort of my aha moment. I realized this product is fundamental to being a responsible pet owner, and yet nobody has it. And if you look at, Europe, for instance, you've got almost 20 to 60% of pet owners in Europe have pet insurance, and yet in the US, it's only 1%. So when I realized that this product was sort of underpenetrated here in the US, I started to dig into exactly, who was writing this, what were they doing, and what the opportunity was. So the insurance nerd in me, I literally went and looked at insurance financials and combed through underwriting statements, figured out that the people that are writing this product are gigantic reinsurers like Ace, Allianz, Nationwide is the largest market shareholder. So people without a vested interest in pets. For the most part, this has been sort of a niche in the market that's been forgotten, and very little energy or money has been deployed here to actually innovate it. But I also recognized that pet ownership is on the rise. Millennials are having pets instead of kids. All of the tailwinds are in place to position pet insurance as a pretty important product for millennial pet owners and generations beyond. And the reality is that incumbents are just not set up to capture that growth. So here I am. I love dogs and I love insurance. So it was very clear to me that this was what I was going to spend every day doing.
Fantastic. And you touched on it briefly, but can you talk a little bit about the evolution of pet parenthood for Millennial and Gen Z, and the trajectory of Wagmo as that evolves?
Yeah, fundamentally, what happened is the baseline standard of being a good pet owner has completely shifted in the past generation or two. For my parents and their parents, being a responsible pet owner meant you take your dog to the vet if and when it gets sick, you buy it kibble from the grocery store, and if the vet bill's too high, you put the dog down because at the end of the day, it's just a dog. And the reality is that is completely not the case anymore. Millennials and Gen Zers are going to start treating pets like their family, and you would never treat a family member like that. So now you're seeing people buying premium food to the point where we're now buying human grade food that's been air-shipped from across the country for your dog, spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on premium food. Veterinary care is increasingly more expensive. And I think people are now starting to translate all of these trends of health and wellness that are available and popular for humans onto their animals, because at the end of the day, your dog is just another child in your household. The interesting thing, I think, that the pet insurance industry has seemed to lost track of is that these new generations are going to be the majority of their consumer base in the coming years. So if you look at some of the incumbents' websites, for instance, on Trupanion's website, when you log on, within 5 seconds of hitting their site, a pop-up pops up that asks you to call a phone number, a helpline, so that you can subscribe over the phone. Where the reality is, our company doesn't even have a phone line. Many millennial-facing customer brands do not even have phone lines. It's just a completely different level of customer experience and a completely different standard of customer experience that we're able to put in place from the beginning. We are building for our own demographic, and we're building a product and a company in a way that is intentionally dynamic and responsive to what customers want. The insurance industry, I think, has a bit of a bad track record for leaving a good customer experience by the wayside. And we are actually prioritizing that in everything that we do, whether it's, your experience on the website, to your claim processing, to what happens if your pet passes. We write a nice little handwritten note and send it via mail. So I think, generally speaking, we are just elevating a product that's sort of been forgotten, and we're putting it in a language that this generation and future generations can understand and access.
That is absolutely fantastic. And please tell our viewers, because we need to get some new Wagmo customers out of this, how do they sign up? What do they do? Where do they go?
Yeah, so it's super easy. You just go to wagmo.io. All you have to do is put in a couple pieces of information about your pet and choose one of our 3 products. We reimburse you for routine care and preventative care today. So we'll cover things like exam fees, vaccines, flea and tick medication. We also cover grooming. You can go to any vet that you'd like. All you have to do is take a picture of your receipt, send it to us, and we reimburse you within 24 hours.
Fantastic. Christie, it's an absolute pleasure, as always, to see you, even if it's digitally.
Likewise.
And I'll look forward to the next time we catch up.
All right. Thanks, Fraser. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.